Okay, so this is a video showing how to replace the mixer tap valve assembly on a Börsner shower. There are some different models. This model is the 2020 Harmony Lycio TD590. So anyway, what the issue was, and something to watch out for because I believe this is really common, when you put the shower on, I'm not going to do that now, I've actually disconnected the shower as you can see, but you get water coming out from under here. So the way to test it is to put the shower head in a bucket so there's no water from the shower coming down here. And if you're getting water coming out of here, you've got a crack in the mixer tap. Now I've looked online and this is really common, and I think what happens is even if you drain the system fully, if there's a tiny drop of water left anywhere in this assembly for over the winter time, then you've got a danger of it cracking. So I'll show you how to take this off. The whole of the back wall has to come off, but it's a fiddly job, but as long as you know what order to do it in, it's pretty much okay. So I'm just going to show you now the part that is needed. So this is the new part. This is the whole assembly. You can see if you look carefully there's the crack just there, and I mean, water was just pouring out from the back. Part number, if you need it, probably you will. I think presumably that's this one here. That's the part number from Börsner, and I actually got it from MB Motorhomes, Manchester. Very, very helpful. And again, that is the part number. So we're back in the shower, and the first thing you've got to do is to remove the back wall. So that's going to include taking the caps off all the screws here, all down that side and down the other side. And the only other thing that holds this back wall in place is the screws here and behind here that hold that on the wall. So this is really easy to take off. You just pull out this thing at the top here that slides out. There you go, you see that just slides out, as does the bottom one, and then that gives you access to take all that off. There you go. So once you've pulled the top one and the bottom one out, then literally that just comes away. Little tug. Then you slide these off. As you can see, there's two screws there. Bottom one's exactly the same, just take them both off, and that's away. Good job to cover up the drain holes as well, I would suggest. The last thing you want is losing any pieces down there. So these little caps need to come off. They're very easy to take off. Just get a very thin screwdriver and just carefully put it behind, and just you can pop them off, he says. There you go. And as fortunately I caught it before it went down the drain hole. And then you just do that with all of them, take all the screws off. Okay, so something to just remember and be aware of when you're taking the wall off. The ceiling here slides into this groove along the top of the shower wall. That's what keeps it up. So when you're taking the shower wall off, just ease it very gently backwards and forwards, and that will come out to allow you to pull the shower wall forwards. Okay, so once you've disconnected all the screws from the wall and you've taken the shower rail off, that allows you to pull the wall forward, but only go forward so far because if you look inside your shower, you've got a heating vent there, and obviously there's your tap unit you want to replace. If you look behind, what I've had to do is remove the heating pipe from the area that the heat goes into the shower. So it's simply, here you can see a couple of little screws you need to take out, one on that side and there's one at the back as well. You can see where the holes are on there. Just unscrew that and that comes straight off. Watch this bit here, that popped out and fell down the tube in mine. It was a bit of a pain to get it back out, but it did. So that's how that fits in. So if it falls out, that's the way around it needs to go. As far as the pipes are concerned, fitting back water pipes into the shower, so that's them there. These clips, don't move those clips. That's not how the water pipe comes off. You might think, oh yes, I'll just pull them back and this will pop out, but they come out from here. And how it works, I'm just going to pause the video and I'll show you how they come out. Okay, so I've already removed the hot water tap. You can see there the cold one is still in place. Basically they'll just come out like that, pop straight out, but before you pop them out, I'll show you, there's a little peg holds them in place. I'll show you that in a second. But once they're disconnected, then this brass fitting here, and it just seems to be hand tight. You just undo that, screw it off the thread here, and the whole thing will come out. So I'll show you that now. Okay, so the brass thread's off, and simply once that happens, you can take the shower unit mixer tap just through the hole. Now you see these wires here, I'll show you now where they're connected and how to remove them. So I'm just going to pause the video and then I'll show you that. Right, so this is the power clips here, which the two wires on the back of the mixer unit feed into. So just take notice, those little orange clips, just flip them up. You can see I've left the incoming power in place, there's no point taking them off, but flip those clips up and the wires just slide out. Obviously best to take a photograph of which colour wire goes into which clip, so you've got them the right way around, and obviously also which side of the mixer tap the cold goes into and the hot goes into. But simply that's all it is. So once you've undone those clips, then simply the wires will be then free and you just slot everything through the hole and out the other side. Right, so this is the mixer unit out completely now. When you put the new one back in, don't forget to put the O-ring sealer there back in, stop water coming through. Now taking out these two bits here, the water supply, when you take those out, they go into there, you'll see a little green peg on the back of the mixer unit. And how you get the pipes out is you simply pull that peg out altogether. So your little screwdriver and pull it out altogether, which you'll see I've already partly taken it out, but you just take the thing out. Don't lose it, put it somewhere safe with all your bits, because that's what's going to secure the pipes in place to your new mixer unit. So very easy to take them out. Don't move those clips, just leave them exactly where they are. You don't need to move them. The pipes come out. Just check your O-rings there are in good condition. Mine were. I might put a little bit of silicone on them actually, but that's how to get the pipes out, and that's how you disconnect from the electricity, waiting for the new unit to go in and reconnect. Okay, so this bit I've fitted back in to the shower. It's the plastic vent, hasn't got its grill on yet, but I've pushed that back in, and basically this screws in place. It's not fantastic fitting, so you got to kind of push and screw it at the same time to get it as tight as possible. What I found is trying to connect this piece to it first and then screw it in place was very difficult. So I'm thinking best way to do this is to put it in place first and then screw, see the holes, some little holes there, screw the pipe back on with the tiny little screws that you're provided with. Give that a try. So that's it back in place, screwed in place. Really fiddly job. You've got to get the screws not so bad to get in, but the one round the back you've got to reach around and it's very difficult, but persevere. It's got a good hold there. That's a fiddly part, really is, but anyway, fit it on, and that's nice and tightly up against here to stop any water. So we'll just put the vent on, put the grill on later. Next job is to reconnect the plumbing and the wiring. So as you can see, again, it's going to be a bit fiddly. Right, so we're behind the shower. I've turned the electric off, so we've got a torch there just providing a bit of light. Best probably safer to have the power off. So we've got a brown wire and a black wire, and just sneak in here and you'll see that I've connected them. On mine, brown went to purple and black went to the pink wire. So it's simply a case of just putting the wire in and clipping the clip down, and then just give a little tug to make sure it is firmly connected, which that one is. So next we've got to connect the water. Something else to bear in mind, down the inside of the shower wall, where when you put the backpack on, there's this foam strip. Now it's not sticky on this side, but it is stuck to the white plastic on the wall there, and it's also the same on the opposite wall. So just remember, check that's intact, hasn't moved, just needs a bit sticking back down, because that stops any water getting in between the rear wall, i.e. here, and into the back of the van when you're having a shower. The other thing to check, so there's your units, little bars to stop the shampoos and things falling off. These aren't screwed in place, they're just glued in place, and I have noticed that there's some, you see there's some gaps in the glue, so potentially water could get through there behind the shower when you're having a shower. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a bit of silicone on and seal those bits up. You'll see this one further down is exactly the same, and all they do is hold that bar on the shelving unit in place. So a little bit of silicone on there to stop any potential leaks of water coming out and going behind your shower. Okay, so water pipes are in nice and tight, and there's the little green peg. You've got to hold them in, push the green peg down, just make sure it's holding them in place, which that one is now. So this is probably, if you had two people to help you, one to kind of push the shower screen right forward because it's hanging back, so, but just leaving enough room to get your hand in, very difficult. Now the other thing I've done here, you can probably see it, I put some bubble wrap in the back, and I'm going to pull that down so it covers this area, so that with a bit of luck it gives a little more protection from frost, which obviously is what caused this problem in the first place. So I'll do that now. Okay, here we go. So it's very difficult to get any substantial insulation in there, but there's some in there, so that's going to help a bit. Pipes are connected. I've reconnected the hose, because the last thing I want to do is get all this put back together and find out it doesn't work. So test the water, and it's working. Yeah, that's the cold. And then there's the hot. So that's flowing through, pumps coming on, so that's wiring it's connected correctly. So we're just got to see if I can see in the back and make sure there's nothing leaking. Pull that apart. And difficult to get in there, but there's no water coming down there now, nothing coming out of there, which is great. So just time to put it back together. Okay, so I've just disconnected the shower pipe again just to give a bit more space to work in, and I've lifted this back into place. Now if you remember, there's a lip there, so this goes into the lip. Just make sure down the sides that all of your rubber sealant, a little bit of a mark there, that's off. We'll get that later. And obviously get the shower to the right height. Before I do anything else, I'm going to cover up that drain hole to save losing any screws or anything down there. So next job, I'm going to try and get one or two of these screw holes lined up with the original holes, and put, see these holes here, put the bracket back on that holds the shower head. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so the little caps, you know, these things here that are on the screw heads, they're a bit of a pain to get off, but actually going back on, you just kind of push them, you hear them click into place, and they're quite solid. I've found getting them off, just getting a very thin bladed screwdriver and gently lifting the corner was the way to get them off, but they go back on really easily. So shower rail, so I've partially put this one on. As you can see, they're kind of in two parts, and this bit turns around. That's important, I'll show you in a moment why, but I'll just fix these back on the wall into the existing holes. Okay, so reinstalling the shower rail, you can see just black plastic, screws go into the wall. Just I had to use slightly fatter screws because they didn't have a great hold actually, but then all you do is you put the silver cap back on. Make sure that piece here is horizontal, because you'll see in a minute, to fix the shower rail on, that has to be horizontal. Okay, so I'll show you why. So fitting the shower rail back on, once you've got those on and the chrome caps on, in the back of your shower rail you see there's a slot, and the slot goes onto there. Give it a bit of a bash on, same on the bottom. Okay, now that's held in place by these little guys, so you need to put that in the top, and it's the reason that that black piece with a hole in has to be horizontal, because that slots into it to stop the shower from coming off the wall. There's one for the bottom as well, so we'll fit that on the bottom exactly the same in place. Just make sure it's fitted on tightly. There we go, that one's on as well, and there we go. So there we go, that's how you reinstall the whole cartridge assembly in a Börsner Lycio TD590, and perhaps other Börsners have the same arrangement. That's how you get the shower wall off. That's it all back together, all ready for our next adventure. Thanks for watching.